that was probably the most dangerous speak for the Democratic coalition.
My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president.
Wow. Amber Rose is definitely a Trumper now. She's onboarded the MAGA movement. Hey, welcome aboard. We did have a video with her and Fujiata Blow when they were, you know, the music video. Powerful stuff.
We voting Donald Trump, baby. Donald Trump, baby. America needs saving. America needs saving. We voting Trump, baby. Trump, baby. November 5th, we going crazy. November 5th, we going crazy.
I'll tell you what, she gave a speech at the RNC. Wow. I gotta tell you, Republican National Convention, that was some powerful stuff right here. Like, I don't mind listening to the politicians making their arguments and so on, but when you hear the common and average person, like the person from the street, just the guy in the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? The girl in the neighborhood sharing this, and again, we're talking about famous, but she's relating to people, the average person. Like, I think the Republicans have to understand something. Okay, Donald Trump you have to keep this in mind. Most significantly, you gotta win the people who didn't vote for you in 2016 and 2020. The people in the middle, the undecided voters. And I think her presence at the RNC, at least from what I could understand, was so crucial. And this is why you heard Van Jones said what he had to say, because it's that powerful of a thing. So how about this? How about we listen? Let me keep my mouth quiet here. Let's get to the video. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. Are you ready for this? All right, friends. All right, let's get this out of the way. All right. Let's get to it.
Hello. My name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children. But I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician, and I don't want to be. But I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies, so I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse, and I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research. I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters. I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong. let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Where's he at? I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am. And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much.
I mean, it's fascinating to have.
All right, before we hear what they have to say, this was well done. She articulated her thoughts very well, balanced. She took her pauses and beautiful, presented herself right. I mean, no wonder why they should be afraid. They should be terrified. Wow. And she represents the average black women out there. She's going to reach a lot of black people. Oh, yeah, baby. I mean, she's got a strong fan base. And Van Jones and them, CNN is going to share their thought. And I think they're right about what they're about to say because this is a good look. We're going to listen to some of that. But I'll speak back when it comes to that one. But I didn't want to distract and, take away from what she had to say. This was a powerful speech, well articulated and very well thoughtful. What she said is true. Number one, Trump is not a racist. 2, the country was in much better shape. 3, the economy was better. And a lot of what's being said about Trump is a lie. 5, do your research. Do your homework. Don't just go with what they're telling you to believe. Okay? Do your research and come to your own conclusion. Think for yourself. And once you do that, you will realize, they've been lying to us. Anyway, so let's listen to what CNN had to say now. I'm pretty sure they've had a shock value.
I mean, it's fascinating to have her as a speaker there. I think she has some 20-odd million Instagram followers.
23 million Instagram followers. So I just have to say, this stagecraft, the sequencing of this whole moment tonight, this is what Donald Trump does best. He's the producer-in-chief, him walking out, Lee Greenwood playing, and then first you're hearing from an everyday American talking, but then a social media influencer with 23 million followers who young people are looking at, and young voters are up for grabs this election. Throw in there also, Donald Trump is now a meme everywhere. Best not miss if you're going to shoot the king. Like, this is what is on TikTok. This is what tens of millions of young voters who are not necessarily decided, they don't have longstanding party affiliation, are seeing. He's making a play there. It's very smart. And to be honest, she was one of the most effective communicators we've seen tonight.
Wow, Alyssa Griffin of all people. Like, wow. I didn't expect that. I mean, when she's on The View, she sounds completely different among these other women. I don't think they will even allow her to share what she just said here, but that's a fact. That's a fact, indeed. You wanna reach the people, man. Get to the heart, man. Social media influencers, these average guys, they don't pay attention. People you're thinking too far up. Let's talk about the people on the ground. A person like Amber Rose, she's on the ground. She's dealing with the average guy. She's very influential, and that's a fact.
I'll admit something. I had no idea who this was. So I looked it up, and then I called a friend of mine, and I said, do you know who this is? And they didn't know. Also a political person. But that's the point. They have put someone on the stage who reaches into this whole group of Americans who are not necessarily engaged at all in our politics or in our civics. These kinds of voices, I heard some grousing about this from some of the conservative. This is how you change the composition of the electorate.
Yeah,
Correct. 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 Conservative has to get on board with this, and you don't have to agree with the messaging, nor the lifestyle, nor the culture of certain people, right? But if you're trying to win, you're gonna have to become very human. You're gonna have to come down to the level, and it's beautiful to see conservative even in music videos, even rap videos. Like, that's just amazing. That's a rare thing, and they have to understand that. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to change your ways and stuff like that. You're a politician. Your goal is to win the hearts of the people. Do that, and you'll be happy. And a person like Amber Rose, you gotta embrace her.
That was probably the most dangerous speak for the Democratic coalition. That is a
That has to be the most dangerous Democratic coalition. He's telling the truth, though. It is. Out of everyone else, this is the most dangerous one. That's powerful.
was probably the most dangerous speak for the Democratic coalition. That is a young woman of color. She's describing the experience a lot of people have, feeling that maybe if you're around too many liberals, you might get criticized too much, or you might not be able to speak your mind. And she spoke to it really well. And she's way more famous than any of us up here. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that, way more famous. And so to the extent that these guys are trying to bust up our coalition, that was a bunker buster right there. By the way,
Wow. Whoa. I want to hear that again.
Us up here.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that, way more famous. And so to the extent that these guys are trying to bust up our coalition, that was a bunker buster right there. By the way, and it's one of the things we've been talking about, but there are speakers who speak to the room, and there are speakers who speak through the television screen. She speaks through the camera to the audience at home, not, I mean, she's effective in the room, but when you're yelling into the room, that is not communicating directly through the lens.
This person is super talented. Okay, like this person knows how to speak plainly and directly, knows how to use the camera, the cadence of it. They got something there.
Yeah, and it really is hard. In those big arenas, it's hard not to want to fill up the room. You want to scream, just make sure the grandma in the back can hear you. But you're not talking to the 30,000 people there. You're talking to the 30 million people at home. And she was the most effective. You can be heard in the hall, but you're in somebody's living room. She understood that. And I would not be surprised if she doesn't have a political future.
Yeah, you can tell that she's somebody who makes a living communicating with people on the screen, right? She understood how to connect with the camera. That's what she does. It's part of why she has 23 million Instagram followers.
The only thing, I'm sorry, go ahead. The only thing I would add to that is not only are you speaking to the people watching, but per some of your,
CNN have no other choice, especially when, they worship the black woman, right? You can't speak against a black woman. And when you got a black woman in the Republican Party, especially a famous influencer in the Republican Party, telling the truth as it really is, and they kind of worship at the altar of melanin skin, of the melanin as well. But nevertheless, they have to say what they're saying. They don't have a choice because they played so much into the identity politics stuff. Identity politics drives the Democratic Party, so Amber Rose is a perfect fit. So they have to say what they're saying. They cannot speak against her in a negative light. That's what you hear in this. That's why they're talking like that. They have to.
Your, well taken criticisms of some of the earlier African American speakers. They're going to cut these things up into little YouTube videos of 10, 30, TikTok videos, all that kind of stuff, and they'll take highlights. And if they have a good digital operation,
It'll be seen by.
It's going to be seen by a lot more people.
I think it was kind of comical. The Republican Party is doing this, making this effort to court black voters. And I think that Amber Rose was an attempt, and it was a failed attempt. Amber Rose is not where the culture is. It's not the person that black voters are going to take their political cues for. And it just was weird, quite honestly. And so when you talk in the group chats.
This woman is out of control. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Like, how do you go from these comments to a person who is completely disconnected? Listen, you are not living in reality. You don't understand the influence that these people have on the youth. You out of control, crazy. Like, you have no idea what you're saying.
When you're on Twitter, when you're just having conversations, people are like, what did she say? Like, these are my people. And we're like, okay, go ahead.
Nice try. But Amber Rose, I'm telling you, this is going to, he's going to have a powerful impact. And I really appreciate the intake. Her take as well, very well balanced and thoughtful. Again, the Republican Party looks good right now. The Democrats have really done themselves dirty. Nobody has done this to them. They did it to themselves. They play the identity politics. They weaponized the political system and the justice system to go after their political opponent. They've done as much as they could possibly do to Donald Trump to take him down, but he has not been successful. And then having radicalized somebody from supposedly the left, and they call him, he was registered Republican, doesn't mean anything. The shooter obviously was driven by Democrat propaganda. And he went on after Donald Trump. You missed. The Lord protected him. Now, as a result of that, more people now are going to vote for Trump. Like, the coalition is only going to get bigger. The Republican Party is in a very positive, powerful position right now. And they should take advantage of this and just go on to do what they're supposed to be doing, because success is theirs, man. Success is theirs. Anyway, a lot more could be said. Share your thought and perspective with me. I want to hear from you. It's pretty amazing how this thing turned out, man. Pretty amazing how this thing turned out. I'm just so happy that Donald Trump is alive and well. He's good. I'm just so grateful. And every time I think about that, I'm like, wow, I feel like crying. Were it not for the Lord that was on our side, where we would be today. Anyway, friends, share your thought and perspective with me. I want to hear from you. Link in the description below. Like and subscribe to the page. Check out our merch. Go to the store. Buy something to put on. Have a good one. Bye.